1, 6, 7, 11, 16. These are not random digits. They are coordinates, a map to mastery, a code left behind by men who understood that wealth is not gained. It is unlocked. The 6 reveal what must be conquered before a man can command anything. The 6 faces of fear that stalk every human mind. The fear of poverty, of criticism, of loss, of old age, of ill health, and of death. Until a man names them, they will control him. Until he defeats them, he will serve them. The 7 unveil the powers of emotion, 7 forces that can either build an empire or destroy a soul. Every fortune, every failure can be traced back to these invisible currents. The wise transmute them. The weak are swept away by them. The 11 mark the qualities of true leadership. 11 habits of thought that raise a man above the masses. Discipline, vision, courage, imagination, loyalty, and more. They cannot be inherited. They must be built. The 16 hold the foundation, the original laws of success. 16 eternal principles that govern all achievement, from the humblest business to the vastest fortune. These are the cosmic laws that reward definiteness, faith, and persistence, and punish vagueness, doubt, and drift. But there is one more number, the first and the final, 1. I will not yet tell you what the 1 means, only that it is the beginning and the end of the key. Without understanding it, the others remain dormant. By the end of this message, you will see why every law, every emotion, every fear, every principle bends before it. Because the 1 is your move on the board of life, the 1 you must make before time makes it for you. You have 1 life, 1 chance to think, to act, to create. You are playing chess against time itself, and if you do not move, you lose. So listen closely, because before this day ends, you will understand the hidden meaning of 1, 6, 7, 11, 16. And why the man who holds this master key no longer waits for wealth? He commands it. Every man is born seeking wealth, but the tragedy of life is that most search for it with hands untrained and eyes unseeing. They claw at the door of success with the wrong key and call the lock cruel. Wealth is not withheld, it is hidden in order. It waits in silence, watching to see which man has learned law, discipline, and faith enough to open it. The fool calls life unfair. The wise call it exact. Infinite intelligence does not play favorites. It rewards definiteness, obedience, and self-control. Never confusion, never chance, never drift. The key to riches was never lost. It was ignored, buried under fear, hidden by indifference, forgotten through idleness. The master key I now reveal has always been within reach, but only those willing to govern their minds may lift it. For thought is the true vault of wealth, and the mind is its keeper. The numbers 1, 6, 7, 11, 16 are not symbols of chance, but coordinates of creation. They are the stations of mastery through which every rich soul must pass. 1 life, 6 fears, 7 emotions, 11 steps of leadership, and 16 laws of success. Together, they form the perfect chain of mind control. Before a man can grasp the master key, he must first prepare the hand that will hold it. He must polish it through patience, strengthen it through faith, and steady it through purpose. For what use is a key in trembling hands? The man who tries to command wealth before commanding thought will soon be destroyed by what he acquires. The riches of earth serve only those who have first discovered the riches of order. Most men spend their days searching outward, begging for opportunity, envying others, waiting for miracles. But all riches are built inwardly first. The treasures of the world are nothing more than thought made visible. There is no factory, no empire, no monument that was not first born in the stillness of a man's mind. To think richly is to command matter itself. To think poorly is to enslave oneself to it. Andrew Carnegie, the man whose fortune first led me to uncover these laws, once told me, "Organize your mind, and the world will organize itself around you." He did not earn billions by labor, nor by accident. He constructed them by the leadership of thought. His mind was a workshop where ideas became plans, and plans became wealth. When asked for his secret, he smiled and said, "There is no secret, only law." The drifting mind cannot build. It spends its strength in confusion, starting and stopping, doubting and deciding, until all power is spent in indecision. The undisciplined man wastes 10 years in what the organized man accomplishes in 1. Fear, laziness, and half-hearted desire are the rust that eat away at the machinery of purpose. The first act of power is to think one thought until it becomes law in your soul. I say to you, wealth is not earned. It is revealed through obedience to law. You are not here to chase fortune. You are here to command it through faith and definiteness. Desire is the spark, faith the fuel, and action the fire. Without all three, the machine of creation stands still. Speak this now, and let it take root. I govern my mind. Therefore, I govern my world. You are the sovereign of your thought kingdom. You may rule it by faith, or you may abandon it to fear, but rule it you must, for no man escapes the reign of his own mind. The door to wealth will never open to those who carry in their hearts the vibration of complaint. It opens only to those who bring the right combination of mental states, desire to choose, faith to believe, and action to prove. The journey through the 1 to 6 to 7 to 11 to 16 will not merely teach you ideas, it will rebuild your being. It will melt your fears, discipline your emotions, awaken your leadership, align you with law, and finally reveal the one life that commands them all. But first, you must learn to listen, to think as creators think, to move with intention, to live as if every thought were a seed that would grow without fail. Do not try to climb the mountain by skipping its steps. The proud man who rushes to lead before conquering fear builds his house upon clouds. The impulsive who seeks emotion before discipline drowns in his own passions. Order is the heartbeat of the universe. Law rewards sequence. You must master the 6 fears before you can transmute the 7 emotions. You must command yourself before leading others. You must live in harmony with the 16 laws before the one life will unveil its full power. The master key is not an event. It is not a secret word. It is not a charm hung upon the neck or a phrase whispered in darkness. It is a sequence of obedience. It is thought obeying order, speech obeying faith, and action obeying decision. It is the trained harmony of mind, body, and spirit under the leadership of will. When these numbers, 1, 6, 7, 11, 16, move in harmony within you, the mind becomes the instrument of infinite intelligence. You will see how law, once understood, bends to your direction. You will cease to struggle with circumstance, for you will have found the lever that moves it. The man who possesses this key no longer fights life. He conducts it, as a composer conducts his symphony. Prepare yourself, therefore, for the first gate of mastery is not learning but cleansing. Before the key can turn, fear must be named and destroyed. Every ghost that whispers you cannot must be dragged into light. Only then will the lock yield, and the master key begin to turn. Now let us go forward. The door stands before you. The key waits in your hand, and on the other side of fear begins the order of infinite wealth. Before a man can command wealth, he must first conquer the 6 enemies that guard its gate. They are ancient and invisible, but their hold upon the human mind is stronger than chains of iron. They whisper in every failure, hide behind every hesitation, and steal from every dreamer his inheritance. These are the 6 ghosts of fear, the fear of poverty, of criticism, of ill health, of loss of love, of old age, and of death. They rule over every drifting soul. They have destroyed more fortunes than bankruptcy, more empires than war, and more men than disease. You cannot serve both fear and faith. One builds, the other destroys. Fear is faith reversed. It is belief in failure instead of belief in success. It is confidence in disaster rather than in law. When a man fears, he tells his mind to prepare for the very outcome he dreads, and the mind obeys. Fear is not a condition of circumstance. It is a decision of thought. Infinite intelligence is perfect order. It cannot reward confusion. Therefore, until fear is destroyed, success is impossible. Let us take them one by one and see how each may be slain. The fear of poverty, this is the master fear. It is the root from which the others grow. Poverty is not a lack of money. It is a state of mind, a belief in limitation, a confession of disbelief in abundance. The man who fears poverty always speaks its language. I cannot afford it. I am unlucky. I never have enough. His words become law to his subconscious, and his life obeys. But gratitude destroys this fear. No man can thank life for its riches and at the same time expect its scarcities. The habit of thanksgiving attracts increase because gratitude declares faith in abundance. Henry Ford began in poverty but never thought poor. He worked as a mechanic, but his mind lived among engines that did not yet exist. When told he lacked capital, he said, "I will build a motor for the multitude." He was laughed at, ridiculed, denied loans. Yet his faith was greater than their disbelief, and faith always builds what fear destroys. The fear of criticism, the second ghost of fear, born of vanity and sustained by weakness. Most men are slaves to opinion. They ask permission to be great. They spend their lives trimming their dreams to fit the narrow vision of the timid. Fear of criticism blinds ambition and kills originality. Yet the man who acts upon principle rather than praise cannot be disturbed. Edison was mocked for 1,000 failures before he was honored for one success. Had he listened to the crowd, he would have died in silence. The path to mastery is lonely, but its rewards are eternal.